Liam Harper, a seasoned flight attendant with years of experience, was on a routine flight from Chicago to Las Vegas. Everything seemed normal at first, but when he passed by row 15, something felt off. A 16-year-old girl, Sophie Lynn, was sitting by the window, her long black hair covering her face. Beside her sat a man in his 40s, Victor Kane, whose hand was firmly placed on Sophie's arm in a way that looked possessive. Sophie's body language, the way she avoided eye contact and seemed anxious, immediately raised a red flag for Liam. He noticed that Sophie was uncomfortable, her eyes darting around as though searching for an escape. It was clear something wasn't right. When Liam passed by with the drinks cart, he asked them both, "Can I get you something to drink?" Victor responded quickly, ordering a water, then turned to Sophie and said, "Get a soda for my niece." At the mention of the word niece, Sophie flinched visibly, and her hand trembled as she reached out for the drink. Liam noticed that her thumb subtly curled into her palm, a silent signal, a gesture he recognized from his human trafficking training. His heart skipped a beat. This wasn't just a coincidence. Liam quietly asked Sophie, "Are you okay?" Sophie barely nodded, her lips trembling. That was all the confirmation he needed. Without showing any signs of suspicion to Victor, Liam turned to him and said, "I'll be right back with some snacks for you both," and smoothly continued down the aisle. He quickly moved to the rear galley where he pulled his colleague Ava Ramirez aside. "What? I think we have a situation in row 15, Liam whispered, his voice tense. "That girl gave me the trafficking signal." Ava's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" she asked. "Dead serious," Liam replied, his mind racing. "I'm going to notify the captain, and you keep an eye on him. Let me know if anything changes." Liam moved quickly, sending a coded emergency message to the cockpit. Within seconds, Captain Maria Alvarez responded, acknowledging the alert and notifying air traffic control. "We'll have ground authorities ready in Las Vegas," she assured him over the intercom. "Stay calm and don't let him get suspicious." Liam's pulse raced as he processed the gravity of the situation. Every second mattered. Sophie's safety depended on how well he handled this. As the flight continued, Liam noticed that Victor's behavior grew more erratic. His grip on Sophie's arm tightened, and Liam could sense that Victor was becoming increasingly suspicious. They were running out of time. Leah went to Ava again. "We need to act. The captain's ready to divert if things escalate." Ava nodded. "I'm with you." Liam knew that they had to move fast. He observed the cabin carefully, and his eyes fell on Hannah Green, a teacher who had been seated across from Sophie. Hannah, experienced in working with teens, had noticed the same signs. As Liam passed by her row, Hannah whispered, "You see it too, don't you?" Liam paused just long enough to reply, "Yes, stay alert. I might need your help." "I might need your help," repeated Liam mournfully. The tension was palpable. Nathan's grip on Sophie's arm was now painfully tight, and Liam could see the anger building in Victor. At one point, Victor leaned in close to Sophie and hissed, "What did you do?" Sophie shook her head violently, her voice trembling as she replied, "Nothing, I swear." Liam knew time was running out. He quickly approached Ava again and said, "We need to act now. If this escalates, we'll have to divert." Ava agreed, "Let's do it." Liam and the crew had planned their next move. Ava used the intercom to announce, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing slight turbulence. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened." The turbulence was the signal. At that moment, Hannah deliberately dropped her carry-on bag in front of Victor's seat. The distraction worked. Victor was momentarily distracted, and that was all Liam needed. He swiftly approached Victor with a forced politeness. "Sir, there's been a seating issue. We need you to move to first class immediately." Victor's face contorted with confusion and anger. "What?" "No," he snapped. "It's for safety reasons," Liam said firmly, his hand steady despite the rising tension. Victor was about to protest when Ava and another crew member moved quickly, ushering him to first class. With Victor temporarily out of the way, Liam knelt down beside Sophie and whispered, "You're safe now. Come with me." Sophie's eyes filled with tears as Liam gently guided her to the rear galley, where Ava wrapped a blanket around her shaking shoulders. "Thank you," Sophie whispered, her voice breaking. "Thank you for helping me." As the plane began its descent into Las Vegas, the cabin was filled with an uneasy silence. Passengers whispered among themselves, unaware of the danger that had just been averted. On the tarmac, law enforcement vehicles were already visible, their flashing lights casting a bright glow. Police officers boarded the plane, and Victor was escorted off in handcuffs, his face contorted with rage. Sophie, now surrounded by officers and counselors, was led to safety. After the flight landed and the situation was over, Liam slumped into an empty seat, the exhaustion of the past few hours finally hitting him. "You did good today," Captain Alvarez said, her voice warm and appreciative. "That girl is safe because of you." Liam exhaled, feeling the weight of everything that had happened. "I just did what I had to do." The story of Sophie's rescue made headlines across the country, sparking conversations about human trafficking, the importance of airline safety, and the need for bystanders to recognize the signs. In the weeks that followed, Liam received a handwritten letter from Sophie. "Thank you for saving my life. You believed me when no one else would. I'm safe now because of you." Those words stayed with Liam, reminding him of the power of awareness and the impact one moment of action could have on someone's life. Sophie, now safe with her family, became an advocate for others, using her voice to help those who couldn't speak out. Together, their actions sparked a ripple effect that would go on to save countless lives. Months later, as Liam boarded another flight, he looked around the cabin with new eyes. Every seat holds a story, he thought, and sometimes all it takes to change that story is the courage to act.